All right, everybody, I'm back. It's been a couple days again because of work. I'm gonna try not to bump the tripod real quick, but I'm gonna show you how to put the chain brake together. I probably use a little more than I should, but I like to put a little bit of grease on the moving parts. There we go. There we go. That's how that goes. And we're going to take one of these E-clips right here. There we go. All right. All right, got that cleaned up a little bit. All right, the way this goes in, short side goes up, long side goes down. Slides right in there. I'm gonna try and do this on camera, but if not, I'm just gonna show you how it went. All right, right there. So I'm gonna push that in the rest of the way. Boom, boom. All right. Now for my E-clip, that goes right there. Right there, much better. All right, I'm gonna go around here and there it is. Sorry, my allergies are going ballistic today for some reason. There's something in the air. All right, there that goes. All right, now in the bottom right here, we've got one of these little screws. There's that. All right. Now for the spring, that's gonna hook right here, and then I'm gonna try this real quick. This is not a recommended way to do it. If you do it at your own risk. There it is. All right. Now clean these covers up real quick. So we'll put those in. One right there. Last one right there. All right. Now we'll take this off real quick. All right, I've got that pulled off real quick. Now, once again, we're gonna grease some parts up. A little bit of grease on the inside right there. And a little bit around the outside. All right, now with these right here, when you're looking at it, clearly the hex side of your clutch is going to be out. So if I put it in like this right here where the dish is going in, I'm going to be riding into the clips for the counterweights. So you want the actual raised part right there. And see, that'll work better right there. So raised section in the center up. We'll have to remember that the clutch may not be as tight as I want it, but it'll work for right now. All right, I got a brand new needle cage real quick. Give me just a second to put a little bit of grease on it. When I do this, I like to try to, if I can, press the grease down into the bearings. You don't really want them dry. You don't need too much grease. I know some people go a little bit crazy on that, but we're just gonna clean it up. Get a good amount right there. All right, this thing is actually in really good condition, but I don't know what the black stuff is. When you look at the inside, it doesn't look blued or anything. It doesn't look like it's been too hot. It's got black on it. I might take a wire wheel to it later and see if that helps. All right, so I can see down in this crack right here is my oil pump drive. So I'm aiming this line right here and notch. I'm lining those up with my oil pump drive. All right, and then this really nice looking STIHL brand 387. There and there. All right. Now I'm gonna start this with the chain brake on and give the throttle a couple of light blips. That way we can kind of seat that that clutch and make sure it's good. I'm gonna wipe off my chain tensioner a little bit. Just a little bit of grease right there. And then quite a bit of grease down into the threads. Oop, almost dropped it. Of the chain tensioner. There we go. All right, this right here is the original intake boot, and I've been going through looking at this thing and I don't see anything wrong with it. It's still extremely pliable. It's still soft, squishy as it should be. So I think I'm gonna rock this for a little bit. If it does not pass a pressure vac test, I've got a brand new one on the shelf, but I was looking at that one and I think this intake boot has been replaced whenever they did the new handle. All right, there's a notch right here in the casting. That's where this ear lines up. It lines up on that notch. Put that all the way on. This is relatively clean now. There is a stop in this, so we're gonna run it all the way down to the stop. Like I said, if there's an issue whenever I go to do the pressure vac test, we'll just put the new intake boot on it and call it a day. But I doubt, sincerely, there's gonna be any real issues. But real quick, we do have a brand new OEM STIHL impulse line for an MS460. All right, there's that. Save the parts baggie for later. I save those so I can put parts back in them. You'd be kind of surprised how often you just, when you're working on one of these saws, it's nice to have a nice clean Ziploc bag to just throw your parts in. All right, we're gonna call that good right there. All right, I'm gonna get the handle on it and then we'll call it a day right there. So we're gonna set this thing down like this. All right, now I need my pull cord. All right, the way I like to do these, make sure that's started in the hole. We'll worry about that in a second though. All right. Take a length of small pull cord, wrap it around the intake boot at least once. I go twice. All right, now on the side there is kind of, I'm gonna call it a keyway. That last AV mount you saw me put in by hand. All right. Pull that out and the whole thing slid in. And I didn't have to use needle nose. I didn't have to put any unnecessary stress on my intake boot. And I do that literally with all of them. Take the impulse line, pull it through all the way, and there we go. We've got the tank handle on. This fell off the other day when I was working on it. These right here. So I'm going to pull the end of the tank handle back out if I can. Try not to do a huge amount. One goes on one side, one goes on the other. It's additional anti-vibe. And there we go. All right, and there we have the handle. We've got the chain brake, the clutch drum, chain tensioner, tank handle, AV system, and that should do it. Guys, I think I'm gonna call it a day right there. It's getting dark and I'm tired. I've been up since 3:45 and it's currently 8:30 p.m. I'm gonna get me some dinner and I'm gonna go to bed. I'll talk to you later. You take it easy. Bye.